Appreciate that, girl. Or ladies. Somebody texted me this week and asked me to sing a song about Unforgotten. But y'all pray for us as we try to do this without all time.
Amen.
When a broken heart leaves me hurting inside, like rain, my tears fall through the night. His voice I hear. There's no reason to fear when the God of all comfort speaks peace to my soul. Amen. When the God of all comfort speaks peace to my soul. Rough seas are calm, the wind ceased to blow. No matter how dark may be the night, everything will be alright when the God of all comfort speaks peace to my soul. When the God of all comfort speaks peace to my soul. Amen.
Amen.
Appreciate the Lord being here this morning.
Amen.
Appreciate His Spirit. Thank God for the efforts of those who come out and to do this morning. If you will, this morning, take your Bible, turn to the book of Job, chapter 1. Job 1. Very familiar reading this morning. Trust this is not the only time you picked your Bible up this week. And some of y'all may have dusted it off this week, and you've not dusted it off in a long while. These times cause us to seek answers from God's Word, seek answers from God. We should be seeking answers in leadership of the Lord every day.
Amen.
But if it's been a while, it's a good time to get in. Get into God's Word. Get reestablished in His will and His way. Job chapter 1, we're going to start reading with verse number 1. We got right smart to read today just because God can tell the story a whole lot better than I can. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. And that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil. And there was born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance was also 7,000 sheep, and 3,000 camels, and 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 she-asses. And he had a great household, so that this man was the greatest of all men of the east. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day, and sent and called their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. Now you'll notice as we read today that you will see verse number 4 repeated in itself in different language several times. And it was when the days of their feasting were gone about that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning and offered burnt offerings according to the number of all them. For Job said, "It may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their hearts." Thus did Job continually. Job thought a lot of his family. Job thought a lot of his sons and his daughters, insomuch that Job would burn sacrifice and burn offerings for them just in case they had messed up. But it sounds like in verse number 4 that his sons and his daughters got along very well, because each son would take a turn and have a meal. Yeah. Each son would take a turn and call for the sisters to come over, and they would sit down and feast and eat together. And there are families today who don't even sit down at the same table and eat with one another no more. And so I see Job here, he should be proud of his sons. He should be proud of his daughters, the way they went. But anyhow, you can have good sons, you can have good daughters, but they can still mess up.
That's right. That's right.
And Job thought, I better go ahead and sacrifice and make burnt offerings just in case they have messed up. I want it covered. Amen? I think Job had a good household. In verse number 6, now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job? There is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Doth Job fear God for naught? Hast not thou made a hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Hast thou blessed the work of his hands, and the substance of his substance is increased in the land? Put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thy hand. So Satan went from the presence of the Lord. And as soon as Satan went from the presence of the Lord, he went to work. I'm going to tell you today that Satan never stops.
You're right.
He never stops. He's not stopped today. Yes, we've come to his house. We've come to worship. We've come to read God's word. We come here. We're maybe sitting at home this morning, and we're going to open our hearts and open our minds to the things that God is sending out or sending to us. But I'm going to tell you, Satan's working just as hard as God's out working.
You're right.
Amen. He never stops. He never stops. Because when the Lord asked him, hey, where have you been? He said, I've been walking up down the earth. I've been all over. What does the Bible say about Satan? He says, a roaring lion walking about, seeking whom he may devour. He never stops looking for a place to stick his head. Amen. And God said, if he's considered Job, he's a perfect upright man. He said, yeah, but does Job, he don't worship you for just no reason. You've blessed all that he's got. You put a hedge about him. Thank God there's a hedge about us today.
Amen.
Thank God there's one protecting us. There's one watching over our homes, one watching over our family. There's a hedge that Satan can't get through unless God allows it.
Right.
And we see this here with Job. And as soon as the Lord said, you can touch everything he's got, he said, there's 3 things he said. He said, thou hast put a hedge about his house on every side. Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, the work of his hands. His house, the work of his hands, and the substance increased in the land. Don't you remember those three things? Well, they'll come back in just a few minutes. But as soon as Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord, verse number 13, and there was a day when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in the eldest brother's house. Oh, here we go again. They're eating together again. And there came a messenger unto Job. Satan waits for the perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
Perfect opportunity. And a messenger came to Job and said, the oxen were plowing, and the asses feeding beside them, and the Sabines fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain thy servants with the edge of the sword, and I only have escaped alone to tell thee. Satan will take your business. Satan will take your way of living, take the way you make a living, because he knows that men depend on it.
Amen.
And he took Job's servants. He took the oxen that were plowing. That was Job's occupation. He was a farmer. He raised crops. He raised cattle. He raised all kinds of things. And he took that from him. And Satan just said, you've blessed the work of his hands. He will take the work of your hands. He will take the opportunity to work with your hands. It's about to drive some crazy sitting at home not working. Their kids are driving them crazy. The parents are driving the kids crazy. The work of their hands has now left their hands. They don't know what to do themselves. Satan will take the work of your hands.
Amen.
He will take your occupation. He does the very same thing with Job because he knows that men depend on their finances.
Yeah.
I got bills coming.
You're right.
I'm sure. Yeah, they put my taxes off to July. Thank God for that. But still, it's still coming. I still got to make a living. You still got to make a living. That's what he touched of Job's. That was one thing. While that servant was still yet speaking, verse number 16, there came also another and said, the fire of God is fallen from heaven, and hath burned up the sheep and the servants, and consumed them. And I only escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, the Chaldeans came out 3 bands, and fell upon the camels, and carried them away, yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Satan will attack your investments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your investments. Here he's got his camels. He's got the things that his sheep were destroyed. The fire. The servant said the fire of God had failed. But Satan's the one touching all that he hath. Amen. Right. Satan's want to say that sometimes we mistake God for Satan and Satan for God.
You're right.
And the servant here said the fire of God has failed. When God didn't destroy them things, he gives Satan leave to do what he wanted to with it. And the fire came from Satan. If anybody wants to disagree, that's fine.
Amen.
But he took his sheep, he took his servants, he took the camels, he took his investments. Satan will attack our investments. He'll take our stocks. He'll take our livestock. He'll take our tobacco product. Not tobacco products. Our tobacco crops.
Yeah.
He better not take my tobacco product.
Amen.
Amen.
He'll take. In doing that, he's trying to take away the hope of seeing things grow and flourish.
Yep.
Take away the hope of seeing things grow and flourish. And that gets a man going. When he sees his crops, his investments going and doing well, that keeps him in good spirits. In good spirits. And Satan will also take that away. I'm trying to get to the meat of this deal. While he yet was speaking, see, Satan, all this happened at one time. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in the eldest house. That's the third time it was mentioned. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house. And it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Satan will love nothing more than to take your children.
You're right.
Take your children. Because in doing so, he takes away your joy. He takes away our future. He takes away our hope for tomorrow. He takes away a lot of those things that you would pass on to someone else, or you would pass the torch on to the next generation to keep carrying. Yeah. He's taking that away from you. And Satan would love to do that. Now, in this time right here, we got a lot of kids staying at home, and I don't know what all they're going to get into, but parents, keep a good close eye on them, because you ain't got a clue.
You're right.
Keep a close eye on them. Keep a close watch on them, because Satan will love to do nothing more than to pull them away.
Amen.
I know a lot of them are not able to come to God's house, but I hope you got them sitting around a phone. I hope you got them sitting around an iPad. I hope you got them sitting around a computer.
Amen.
Somewhere this morning, listen to God's word.
That's
right.
right.
We don't want to lose them.
That's right.
Amen.
And Satan will take this time, this opportunity, to pull them away, because they're not able to come together, not able to come get together. They're sitting at home, and an idle man, idle hand, and idle mind is the devil's workshop.
You're right.
The devil working at it. He'll work in that. So be careful. Satan will love to take your children. Now, at this point in time, when my oxen are gone, my servants are gone, my camels are gone, my sheep are gone, my children are gone, that's when I come to the point in my life, I say, that's it.
Yep.
That's enough. It's more than I can handle. I can't handle no more. There's just too much turmoil going on in my life right now. I can't handle no more. I can't handle no more. This is where most people, including myself, would probably ask and say, what am I doing wrong?
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
What am I doing wrong? Because we'll question ourselves. Oh, when things like this happen, or a tragic happens here, we have an earthquake here, a tornado here, we have all kinds of things happening. We say, well, them people, what did they do wrong? It may not necessarily be what they're doing wrong. Job had all this come because he was doing right.
You're right.
God's one who said, have you considered my servant Job?
Mm-hmm.
In all reality, maybe what you're doing right. Where I would question God, where I would probably throw a fit, where I would throw my hands and quit. Verse number 20, and then Job arose and rent his mantle, and shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground and worshipped, and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this, Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly. Naked I came in, naked I'll go out. He said, the Lord has blessed me. The Lord has gave me. The Lord has gave me. We was preaching, it just seems like the last couple of months has just all been leading up to what's going on right now. And I look back through the different messages we preached lately, and God has really, really blessed us.
Yeah.
We got way, way more than we deserve. We got way, way more than we need.
Yeah. Amen.
You know, in a time like this, like, well, I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I got it. God was providing. God was making a way. We've got canned goods stored up. We got this, that, and the other. And God blessed this. But you know, just as quick as God gave it, God also can let it be taken away.
Amen.
Amen.
We was all excited about baseball season. We was all excited about soccer season. We was all excited about all kinds of things coming up. And we were blessed to be able to have these opportunities. All excited about seeing our seniors graduate. All excited about it. Last year of a lot of things for some of our kids. We're all excited about it. We're blessed. God gave.
Yep.
Now it's taken away. But Job says, blessed be the name of the Lord.
Amen.
Thank God we got to enjoy what we've enjoyed.
Right.
Amen.
Thank God we got to live in what we've lived in.
Yeah.
Amen.
Don't take it for granted. I think Coach Taylor sent out a Facebook thing this morning and said, you know, one day, and this was really deep, really hit me. He said, it showed the picture of all the Sandlot kids together, and they's all with the baseball bats and the gloves, and one of them probably had chewing back in. But anyway, it showed a picture of all of them and said, you know, there was some point somewhere in your life that you and all your buddies were out playing for the last time.
Yeah.
And nobody had realized it was going to be the last time. And I said, man, that's deep. Hey, that's deep. That's what I call it. That's deep. And it was, because I remember being outside playing football with the boys, all the neighbor kids over. And now it's gone. But I was blessed to be able to do that. Take advantage of what you're in right now. Because things can change in a day. In a day. I hope, as good as I never have a day like Joe just had.
Amen.
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 Going on to chapter 2, and we'll get through the message. Chapter 2 of Job, verse number 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also to present himself before the Lord. Boy, you think he's something. And the Lord said unto Satan, Where hence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it, continually doing the same thing. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job? There is none like him on the earth, perfect and upright man, one that feareth God, one that sheweth evil. And still he hold fast his integrity. You know, he didn't say that the first time. He didn't say that the first time he said this to Satan. But this time he said, he has still held fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him, and to destroy him without cause. He ain't done nothing wrong. And Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin. Yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thy hand now and touch his bones and his flesh, and he will curse you to your face, to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thy hand, but save his life. You can't take his life. God's the one who takes life.
Right.
He said, you can have his body, his fleshly body, but you can't take his life. So when Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord, he smote Job immediately. He smote Job with sore boils from the soles of his feet unto his crown. And he took a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and sat among the ashes. I can just picture Job in so much misery. Job with boils from the top of his head to the soles of his feet, and it said he's scraping himself with broken pottery, just sitting in a pile of ashes, and he would scrape those boils, and they would run, and I could just see him taking ashes and putting on them, hopefully to dry these things up. What misery he was sitting in, just scraping and hurting and don't know why this is going on. He just lost all that he had. He lost his children. He lost, now his health is leaving him. What a miserable man we must be looking at. Physically miserable man. And his wife said unto him, Dost thou still retain thy integrity? Now, the only person I know that was said was Satan.
Yep.
Because the Lord asked Satan, don't he still retain his integrity?
Yeah.
And then the next person we hear say it is Job's wife.
Yep.
Why did Satan not take Job's wife? Because she was left here to be a buffer. She was left here to be a tool of the devil, of Satan. If we're not careful, today's my anniversary. Today's my anniversary, 23 years. Now, Satan don't use my wife as a tool against me. Ever. Yeah, I see some of you smiling. He has used her. And he's used me. And he's used my children. He'll use things against you to discourage you, to frustrate you, to overwhelm you.
Right.
He will use the closest ones that you think the most of
Yeah.
to get the deepest to you. And she said, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. She was being a mouthpiece for Satan. Curse God and die. But he said to her, thou speakest as one of a foolish woman speaketh. What? Shall I receive good at the hand of God, and shall not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips. Satan left his wife alone, didn't take her life. See, God gave him leave to take anything he wanted. The cattle, the children, everything around Job. But he decided to leave her in the house. In the house. And I love how Job answered. He said, listen, God's been good to this old boy. God's been good to me. Should I just take all the good of God and never take evil? Should I never go through trials? Should I never go through tribulations? Should I never be overwhelmed? That don't happen. That's not the way it works. In times of trials, troubles, loss, frustration, physical impairments, there's only one thing to do. Trust God.
Amen.
Trust God. That's all I know to say is trust God. And hold on to Him with all you've got by faith. Hold on to Him and trust Him. Yes, it is frustrating. Yes, it does hurt to have loss. Yes, it does hurt not that we can't go, we can't do. It is a little different. Job said in chapter 13, 15, he says, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Though he slay me, yet I will trust him. I will trust him. But I will remain mine own ways before him. He is also my Savior. For an hypocrite shall not come before him. He said, I'm going to hold on to my integrity. I'm going to trust him. I'm going to obey him. I'm going to try to walk in his will and his way. In times of frustration, trials, troubles, tribulations, you've got to trust him. In all things.
Amen.
In all things. We don't know how bad things might get. It will probably get worse before it gets better. We may lose stock. We may lose our investments. We may lose our livelihood as far as our job. Don't know. But in all, we need to learn. God knows best. Romans 8:28. For all things work together for good. To them that love God and to them that are called according to his purpose. God knows what he's doing. We're the ones who don't know what we're doing. That's why we've got to trust him. Trust him. I'm going to finish reading just a few verses here since we've been into Job this far. We might as well just finish out with Job. Job also said in Job 19:25, he said, I know that my Redeemer liveth. I know that my Redeemer liveth. And that I shall see him, and that I shall stand at the latter day upon the earth, and he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And though after skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh I shall see God. And you can turn over to chapter 42, and you can read how Job's latter end was blessed more than in the beginning.
Amen.
And he got to see 4 generations born. God replaced his children, he replaced his cattle, he replaced his oxen, God replaced everything. God can do a whole lot more than what Satan can do. God can bless a whole lot better than Satan can destroy. Now I'm here to tell you, and I'm going to finish in just a second. We're running out of time, we're getting long. But Satan is coming to do 3 things. Kill, steal, destroy. Jesus said, I've come, they may have life.
Yep.
They may have it more abundantly.
Amen.
He's the one I want to trust. If Satan gets an ounce of opportunity, a minute's opportunity to destroy you, he will.
You're right.
That's why it's so important that when these things come, to know whom we trust. To know whom we trust. Job, the way I see Job took all that, he is perfect and upright. Because this boy right here wouldn't have took it as good as Job took it. I wouldn't have handled it as well as Job handled it. No way. No way. Don't give Satan an opportunity in your home. To steal your joy. Know who you trust in. Know who you trust in.